Good morning, how are we all doing today? So today I'm going to take you guys through my high school art folio from back in 2013. One of the things I was most proud about this folio was that it received full marks. But even crazier, a few months after receiving my marks, I found out that the folio was invited to be displayed at an exhibition in the National Gallery of Victoria. But I'll talk a bit more about that later in the video. And to be honest, I actually forgot I even had this folio until I found it in storage recently, so it's a pretty big flashback going through it again. But right before we get into it, a thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you need a website to display your portfolio or maybe to even sell some products, Squarespace has got everything you need. It's an all-in-one platform where you can easily build your own website from scratch. So I graduated from high school at the end of 2013. In my final year of high school, I took on Studio Arts as one of my VCE classes. Basically, the class required us to develop a body of work and to document the whole entire process from start to finish, over a year. The final outcome of the class was both a folio and the finished artworks. It's pretty interesting to see that what I researched and experimented with all those years ago in my folio actually ended up being a starting point for my current work, shaping what it is today. For example, I can still see Kyle Coben or Megan Lara's influences, even though I haven't seen their work in years. My folio was structured broadly in 4 major stages: research, exploration, development, and then the final outcome, or the artwork. This research stage of the folio was basically an analysis of all the artists that we look up to personally and wanted to use as sources of inspiration for a starting point. We did also have to annotate and explain our thought processes for every stage throughout the folio process, and I obviously went over the top with that. So this part of the folio that we're looking at now was exploration, which was all about broadly experimenting with all different aspects of what goes into an artwork. I guess you can think of this stage as the part where you loosely start sketching all of your ideas down. I explored anatomy, line work, shape, subject matter, colour, everything. At this point in the process, we don't know what we're going to produce for our final outcome. The whole point of the folio is to work towards the final artwork slowly and in a process. But I knew that I at least wanted my final outcomes to somehow include portraiture. So I did a lot of studies on anatomy and looked at ways I could execute my work. But one of the biggest components in exploration was looking at materials and mediums. At the time, I was only used to one single medium, which was digital art. Up until that point, I had a fear of anything that couldn't be erased or Ctrl-Z'd, so I'd never really given traditional painting a shot. I decided to get over it and try something new, which was watercolor. And at first it terrified me. It was chaotic and you definitely couldn't press undo, so I honestly hated it. But I think that slowly, the very thing that I hated about watercolor, which was the uncontrollable nature, ended up becoming its charm. The way the paint moved, the way the colors blended, everything. And before I knew it, I was in love with watercolor. So much so that I decided I wanted one of my final outcomes to be in watercolor. Other than watercolor, I also tried acrylics and inks, but I also looked at experimenting with different paper surfaces like newspaper, canvas, tooth watercolor papers, etc. I was going all in, and honestly, this stage of the folio was probably the most fun. So to start our folios, we had to write up a broad proposal, which was basically a concept or theme that we would eventually narrow down further. The starting concept for me was that I wanted to explore a way to depict a connection between humans and nature by using visual symbolism. Throughout the year, I developed this further and narrowed it down to an exploration into 4 major concepts. Right now, we're looking at the first concept, which was about portraying the mind and our imagination and the stream of consciousness as a sea or a river. The second concept was about portraying innocence through symbolism of the swan and its grace. The third concept was about portraying our senses and their limitlessness through imagery of skies and clouds. And the last concept was about elusive or skin-deep beauty through looking at butterflies and masks. Eventually, I narrowed these 4 concepts even further, and I ended up creating just 2 artworks for my final outcomes: a digital painting for the sea and a watercolor painting for the skies concept. I loved the exploration so much that even to this day, I often revisit the theme of water and the sea and its correlation to the mind. Now, this folio is definitely not what every student's folio looked like. You did not need to do anywhere near as much as what I did for this subject. I put a ridiculous amount of work and effort into this. As you can see, I went crazy with annotations and evaluations of everything in the folio. I haven't counted, but I'm guessing my folio has well over 100 pages. There was no real guideline on how much work was required, so I just did as much work as I could. And still, I don't really know whether that was a lot, or if it was an average folio size or page count, but I'm pretty sure 100 plus pages lent more towards the batshit crazy side. Like, look at this spread. Come on, man. Seriously? Quotes? Decorative string? I actually went as far as doing all this, just to get that artsy aesthetic, but I had a good reason. And to explain that, I'm gonna have to give you guys a bit of a story. So the backstory on this folio and why it was such a big deal for me was that at the time, it was my final year of high school. So there was this looming question that hung over us throughout the whole entire year, which was, what are you going to do after school? I had already come to terms with the fact that I'd never be able to pursue a career in art for several reasons. Rather, in my mind, it was never really an option. I did talk about this briefly in a previous video, but basically, my whole life I'd been told that to be an artist was basically to be jobless. It wasn't a thing. Man, even my career counselor basically laughed when I suggested that I could study art in university, and in one of our sessions, she even wrote that off as an option. But at the end of each year, after the final exams, there was a program of sorts called TopArts. It was an exhibition where the best folios and artworks from graduating studio art students were selected to be displayed at the National Gallery of Victoria. It was a prestigious honour if you were selected, as it was incredibly difficult to be chosen, especially for something so subjectively assessed as art. There was no clear criteria whatsoever of how to get into TopArts. Even to this day, I still have no clue what the criteria was to be chosen for the TopArts exhibit. I told myself at the start of the year that I would give this folio my everything. I was going to dedicate all of my time and effort into it and prioritize it over all of my other studies and classes. Why? Because I believed that if I could get into TopArts, just maybe there was a possibility that one day I could pursue a career in art. See, I went to a highly academic school, and in a way I grew up with a very naive view. I somehow believed that there was no such thing as a career in art, because it seemed like everyone around me wanted to become a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. So I had already made my mind up that I would go on to study something in the health field. I set my goal to get what others told me was a real job, because I still truly believed that there was no such thing as a career in art unless you were a somebody or unless you were some kind of art god or prodigy. But I thought that if I really could be chosen for TopArts, that meant that at least in someone else's eyes, my work had something special to it. Value, even if it was the slightest amount. And that's all I wanted to hear. I just wanted a little bit of hope. And spoiler alert, my folio was chosen for TopArts 2014! And to top it off, I was even included in the local paper. It was the most liberating feeling I'd ever felt, to feel like my work had value. I poured so much into this folio, working tirelessly on it for a whole entire year. It was pretty damn crazy to realize that I was able to achieve something that I'd set my mind to a whole year ago. I had somehow managed to bring what seemed like an impossible dream to reality. But by the time the invitations went out for TopArts, I'd already been accepted into my physiotherapy studies for university. But that didn't matter. All I wanted was that spark of hope, that maybe one day down the road, maybe after I would retire as a physiotherapist in my old age, maybe then I could really try to pursue an art career. It was a seed of hope that would continue to grow in the next few years as I started pouring more and more time into my art. And who would have known that fast forward a few years later, here we are. And that wraps up my first folio. The second folio basically was the final stretch of the whole entire class, and so it's nowhere near as big. It was where I went and took my concepts that I thought had potential from the exploration stage and refined them further into hopefully finished artworks for the final outcome. The documentation for the C one wasn't as exciting, as all I could really show for the development process was screenshots of the digital painting as I was working on it. I did do some experiments with color adjustments, especially with the skin, but other than that, nothing too exciting. It is pretty cool to look back on all this though, especially this painting in particular, as in the next few years I would go on to keep painting digitally in this similar art style. For all you guys who might be familiar with my old digital artwork, I used to really love painting these female portraits with these crazy, colourful and glowy and flowy bodies of hair in this almost surreal fantasy-like style. The development section for the sky concept was a lot of fun to work on, as I was going pretty wild with watercolour here. I had 3 potential concepts that I could develop further into a final artwork. I was experimenting with techniques I'd never even heard of before, like blooms, bleeds, splatters, and even looking at different colour palettes and combinations to see which colours worked well together, as I was still pretty new to this medium at this point. I also had the challenge of figuring out a way to actually make the final painting. I wanted to make it really big, and I can't remember how big it was exactly, but you can kind of get the idea of the size from these pictures. Just keep in mind that the only watercolour I'd done so far was those tiny little sketches in the folio. So this was hard. Of the 4 concepts, I scrapped the butterfly one first, and eventually the swan one too, as after some further development, I realised they both just weren't as strong, it just felt a lot weaker. I did have a lot of fun trying to develop the swan one though, trying out photography with my friends and even jokingly modelling myself. Ultimately, I really did feel like I could do a lot more with the sea and sky concepts, so I took those further all the way till the end. But before we get to that and wrap up today's episode, I want to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring today's video. It's the same platform I use to create my own website and have been using for nearly 2 years now. It's been a huge plus for me because I'm able to integrate a web shop to sell my own products into the same site where I can showcase my work and portfolio. It's just ridiculously easy to use and navigate with loads of available templates and features. I just set up a nifty sketchbook flip through gallery that you guys can browse through, which I think is one of their pretty cool features. So if you're in need of a new online portfolio, or if you want to start your own web store, head on over to www.squarespace.com/kelogsloops for a free trial or a 10% discount off your first purchase of a website or a domain. And without further ado, the final 2 outcomes. The first of the 2, mind like a river. To summarize, this piece was about portraying the mind as a vast, endless stream of fluid thoughts, as the title suggests, like a river. And here's Dreaming of the Sky, which was the outcome for my skies concept. The idea behind it was that I wanted to portray the limitlessness that our dreams have. And yeah, that's my high school art folio. I was so incredibly proud of the entire folio and how the artworks turned out. My art has changed so much, and I really do think that it's come a long way to what it is today. But it truly is refreshing to look back on all this. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Don't forget to make more art, and I'll see you guys soon.